From Kuntz Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, the Blast TV Network presents USISL Soccer as the Blast take on the Tulsa Roughnecks. Tonight's game is brought to you by Soccer Unlimited. We cover the entire field. By Ameritech Cellular. Call 1-800-MOBILE-1 for all your cellular phone needs. By the Indiana Youth Soccer Association. And by Kroger. Good evening, everybody. Kenn Tomasch with you, along with Dan Capsalis. And for once, at least, we have some decent weather. It's been raining all day here in Indy, but it looks like the skies have opened up and may actually hold off, allow us to get this game in tonight without weather being a factor. But there are some other factors. Chief among them, I would say, Dan, the Blast are hungry. This, halfway through the season, is a must-win game at 2-6. They've got to get things turned around.
They definitely do. They've had some problems with their scheduling and with their performance in the midfield. They've had some problems with the way they've flown. They've got new players coming in all the time. So definitely, with only 2 victories, they're looking to get one off tonight, no question.
Tulsa is 4-5. They've lost 2 straight, and their best player, Jason Miracle, has to sit out tonight's contest because of a red card he picked up in Dallas in their last game. So it will not be easy tonight. They've only brought 12 players, the Roughnecks had, and it's a very long bus trip up here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. We talked with head coach Jimmy McDonald of the Blast about those and other subjects, including all the new faces on his roster and why tonight's game is so important. Jimmy, we're about halfway through the season now, but you've got to look at tonight's game as a must-win. How do you approach tonight?
Well, I think the players realize that we have to turn the season around, and now's the time to do it. And we've had some good training sessions lately, so I think the boys are ready.
What about the new blood that you've brought in? Mark Behringer comes in, Corey Robertson comes in, Aldo Sordelli comes in. You try to find that right mix, and it's got to be tough in a first-year team to find that right mix, but do you think you've got some players now who will really could do some damage?
Yeah, I think we're basically set as far as players go, unless someone comes in and I think they can start, in the top 11. We want to go with the local players as much as we can, and players we've added by no means are, weak players. They're wonderful players, and I think they're going to add a lot to this team.
Ernie Yarbrough gets the start tonight in goal. Explain why.
I feel that teams are starting to figure us out and starting to knock balls into the 6-yard box, and I think Ernie's much better in the air coming off the line. I think the players feel comfortable that they don't have to always watch blindside with him in the back. So basically because he's much more aggressive.
Tulsa's on a little bit of a downturn. They've lost 2 straight. They only bring 12 players here tonight. They've had a long bus trip from Tulsa. You've got to seize the opportunity tonight, I'm guessing. And not only that, their best player, Jason Miracle, has to sit out because of a red card. So the opportunity is there for you guys tonight.
The opportunity is there for us. As you know, we've got some injuries. Lauren Crawford's been an absolute wonderful surprise this year. Mark Behringer was starting for us last week. Mark LeBeer's still out. We've got a few injuries, but tonight we have to seize the opportunity. You're quite right about that.
Head coach Jimmy McDonald of the Blast, who hopes to get things turned around tonight against the Tulsa Roughnecks. We'll be back with more on the pregame show after this. You're watching the Blast TV Network. Don't go away.
Langeman's Deli and Bagels is a great place for a fast meal that isn't fast food. We have 16 types of bagels baked from scratch daily from family recipes. Get your day going with a bagel and your favorite gourmet coffee. Or drop in for a delicious deli sandwich for lunch. Langeman's can even help with your party or corporate gathering with our boxed lunches, deli trays, party trays, and our Party Bagel Hero. With 3 convenient Indianapolis locations, Langeman's Deli and Bagels.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Blast defender George Crawford with our national anthem. A very accomplished singer, George Crawford is, and he showed off that he is a multi-talented guy. Welcome back to Kuntz Stadium, everybody. Kenn Tomasch, Dan Capsalis with you on the Blast TV network as the Blast gets set to take on the Tulsa Roughnecks. If George could play as well in midfield tonight, actually, as he's just saying that, then the Blast are going to be in very good shape tonight, Dan.
I was impressed. That was outstanding.
All right, let's take a look at the starters while we have a chance. First for the Blast, as we told you, Jimmy McDonald will go with Ernie Yarborough in goal. He'll have Russell G., Alan Alderson, Eric Nichols, and Randy Whiteford, the rookie from IUPUI, on the back line. With Crawford pushing up to midfield now because of his goal-scoring prowess. He is second on the team with 2 goals and 4 points. Shane Schmidt also in midfield, along with Toby Walton. Those two guys played together at the University of Evansville. And Obi Monami still waiting for his brother Emeka to come back from knee injury. Could be back very shortly, within a week or so. Craig Ginsburg, finally, after playing much of the beginning of the season at midfield, up where he's maybe a little bit more comfortable at forward, along with Mark Phillips, the captain and leading scorer of the Blast. The Roughnecks, as we told you, only brought 12 players here tonight, but heck, you only need 11. They'll go with Randy Richardson in goal. Brian Hooten, Mark Langbartles, Ian Palmer, and Justin Elkington on the back line, with Mike Adams in midfield, along with Jason Hawkins, Mike Edwards, and Shane Boren. And the 2 forwards, Tama Andofar and Baba Ugba. This is a guy to watch. Number 20, Baba Ugba is their leading scorer and an outstanding player. He's a guy that the defenders are going to have to shut down tonight, Dan.
No question about it. This is a game where the Blast have to set the tempo and get in a rhythm very early and try to demand that they control the ball and maintain possession. The whole rhythm is very key here. Obviously, when they're 2-6, they need a victory here, and what they can do in the midfield is going to be key. Having George in the midfield now, I think Coach McDonald's got a good thing going there, because with him in the midfield, it gives him an opportunity to get more guys in the scoring opportunities, and he's done that so far. So by putting him in the midfield, gives George kind of a green light to get in there and go for it.
You talked about possession. Head coach Ali Adibi of the Roughnecks is a guy who likes his team to control the ball some 75% of the time if he can, and he thinks that the more his team has the ball, that's obviously less that the other team has the ball, and that's better off for his club. Well, the Roughnecks, as we told you, have made a long trip up here. They just had a 2-game trip down to Texas last week and lost both of those games. Lost very late, and so coming here with a record of 4 wins and 5 losses. They play in the South Central Division of the USISL D3 Pro League. Just about set to kick this one off from Kuntz Stadium. Field's in great shape, and the Roughnecks do kick it off. They're wearing the blue jerseys with white shorts and white socks, and they'll be moving right to left here in the first half of play from Kuntz Stadium. And, of course, the Blast changing things up a little bit uniform-wise tonight, going with the white jerseys, but where usually they've worn black shorts with those, they're going with the red look tonight. And a Blast move left to right across your screen here in the first half of play from Kuntz Stadium. We're just underway. That one tried to get through to George Crawford outside, and scooping that one up was Randy Richardson just outside the 6-yard mark. So they test Richardson early, Dan.
You see George already getting involved in the attack. That's great. They have to come out strong. They have to come out very quick in the first part of this game and set the tempo and try to maintain, like I said, the control of the game from the start. First goal is always big. Get your momentum and get your rhythm. And if they get that first goal tonight, maybe we can see him pull off a victory here.
Craig Ginsburg with a little flick back, but it's taken away the other way by Mark Langbartles of the Tulsa Roughnecks, and now Kenny fighting for it once again at midfield. Little spring in his step. Missed most of the beginning of this season with a really bad hamstring pull that he suffered in Cleveland in the first league match of the year. It really bothered him for several games. Tried to play on it a couple times, but really was not able to get anything going. And he is back in there tonight, starting up at forward. Now he gets this one over to Mark Phillips, the captain and leading scorer, over on the far side. He'll send this one through into the box, but on one hop it bounces right to Randy Richardson. We also want to welcome those of you listening in on the internet, as tonight the Blast become the first US D3 Pro Soccer League team to broadcast a game live on the World Wide Web. And if you're listening here tonight, I want you to send us some email. Send it to blast@indy.net, and we will read some of your email on the air for the rest of the evening if we receive some. That's blast@indy.net. Do you ever think you'd be doing a game that people could be listening to in Malaysia and all over the world, Dan?
They wouldn't be able to understand me anyway.
Hey, I have enough trouble. But at least in the early going, the ball hasn't gotten back over to the Blast defensive third because...
You mentioned earlier that the Roughnecks only have 12 players, which is a key, and one of their best players, obviously, with the red card sitting out tonight. If the Blast can take advantage of that and use, obviously they've got a bench that they can use, stay fresh, stay loose, and stay into a rhythm, they can hopefully maybe wear these guys out a little bit. They may be a little tired. Like I said, it's a long bus ride over here, and they're getting off the bus and playing this game, so maybe they're a little tired, and the Blast can certainly take advantage of that.
Well, they bussed to St. Louis and then came in here today from St. Louis and now into the Blast defensive half for the first time in the early going of this game. George Crawford gets it to Obi Monami here along the near side. Gets around his man Hawkins, and it's up to Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips getting around Lang Bartles. He's alone in the area. Phillips with a shot, crosses in front, just missed, and Craig Ginsburg could not get there to put it home, but he was wide open. Still in play on the far side and finally put out of play. So Phillips getting a good offensive rush there, getting into the box and getting around his defender, Lang Bartles.
Great opportunity, and you see Mark there, what he does. He gets inside the box and absolutely, with possession of the ball, cuts off the defender, so there's no chance of the defender getting the ball. The only way he can get it is by taking him down, and thus would result in a penalty kick. So great opportunity for Mark to get in the box, just hit it. I think he was taking the shot. Ginsburg was actually...
And he puts that one high, and it's a 50-50 ball right there, and Phillips was trying to get that, and Richardson was battling with him for it. Held in now by Tulsa down to their end as they try to clear. That's Ian Palmer with Eric Nichols on him. Now Obi Monami has it. Good job to keep that one from going across the goal line. And finally a foul on Monami, and so free kick Tulsa. Just underway, 41 minutes to go in the first half.
It's going to come right at me more than likely.
As Lang Bartles will start the little tiny free kick. And Tulsa on the move, wearing the blue. Sending it far side. We talked about Ernie Yarborough getting the start in goal tonight. He's been training very well. Maybe looking for a little bit of a spark. He's a very aggressive goalkeeper. Jimmy's saying that's something that's been lacking and he wants to see out there.
You would have had to get it quicker than that.
Some 4.5 minutes into the first half, and Tulsa finally on the attack for the first time. They'll chip this one across. Eric Nichols is there, though. He fanned on the shot, and Andofar couldn't get there either. And now it's Monami and Andofar. It goes in across into touch here along the near side, and Palmer will throw it in for Tulsa. Put that one into Mike Edwards and promptly went back out of bounds here on the near side.
One thing the Blast have had trouble with in recent games is tracking the players coming through the midfield. You see there where they had an opportunity in the far post. They have to be very careful. The guys coming through in the far post or inside the box unmarked. They're asking for trouble if that happens.
Now Russell G sending it up to Eric Nichols. Has to be quick with a step and does get it up to George Crawford, but it's stolen away by Tulsa. Jason Hawkins with it. Crawford strips him of the ball. Nice move by George. And now Crawford trying to run free at midfield off to Ginsburg. Those two were teammates down at Indiana University for Jerry Yeagley. Now Ginsburg will send it across back to Crawford. And he lays it off for Shane Schmidt. Toby Walton, those two Evansville guys working in the combination far side as Walton tracks it down in the corner. Now back out to Randy Whiteford. Whiteford will chip it into the area. Alan Ginsburg kind of misjudged that one, and it skipped past him and into touch here along the near side.
Blast are doing a great job switching the point of attack. I know that Coach McDonald and Coach Sonich have been talking about that, switching the point of attack and getting the ball on the far side where the defense is vulnerable, and they're doing that very well here early in the first half. And if they can continue to do that and serve the ball in the box, they're going to get some good opportunities, and they've already had a couple.
Mike Edwards throws it in, and Monami got a foot in there to steal it away. Crawford has it now, and now a foul called on Jason Hawkins of Tulsa. And so the free kick upcoming here.
It's an indirect, they'll probably just pass it off. Indirect means they're probably just going to pass it off, they're not going to kick it, basically.
The next Blast home game, just a reminder, is on Friday, June 20th, when the Lexington Bluegrass Bandits of the Premier League come to town for a 7:30 match. There's a crosser into the box, headed out of there by the Tulsa defense. Ginsburg gets it back, though. That'll be a 7:30 game. It'll be preceded by a free clinic with Assistant Coach Mike Sonich and Blast players at 5:30. Phillips just wound up and fired that one straight across in here and touch on the near side.
again, you see him switching the point of attack. Mark Phillips is wide open on the far side and about 15 yards out deep in the box. Totally unmarked, brings the ball down and gets a shot off. Those are the kind of situations that they keep creating. It's just a matter of time before the Blast put one in here.
Tulsa set to throw it in along the near side. Not only that Friday night game against Lexington, but then on Sunday afternoon, the San Antonio Pumas come to town as another South Central Division foe. Comes to Kuntz Stadium. That'll be a Sunday afternoon game at 2 o'clock on June the 22nd, and the free clinic preceding that one begins at noon. Now Eric Nichols has it, out to Randy Whiteford in the center circle. Some 7.5 minutes into this one from Kuntz Stadium, and now Mark Phillips, marked tightly by 2 blue shirts. Send it back out to Russell G. Kind of mishit that one, but Eric Nichols has it right at the center stripe. Nichols will chip it up ahead, everyone into the box. Crawford on a run there, but defender knocks it back out. And this one will bounce past Randy Richardson, and he will track it down rather than let it go. A little good pressure put on there by Craig Ginsberg to kind of make things a little interesting. And going to touch on the far side. Our next broadcast on the Blast TV network comes on Monday, July 7th. That'll be of the 4th of July game against the Chicago Stingers. Check your local listings along the Blast TV network. You see the time, some 36.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. No score, but the Blast dominating action to this point. They've had some chances. And Tulsa's been having trouble getting it into the Blast off defensive half. Here's Mike Edwards, far side. He's easy to spot. Nice move on the far side by Justin Elkington to get free and get away from Russell G and send it out high. Now Whiteford chipping into the box again, looking for Monami, and Monami gets a hit on it, but sends it across the end line. And it'll be a goal kick for Tulsa.
Tulsa's really having a tough time getting out of their zone. They're having a tough time getting into a rhythm. And again, the Blast can take advantage of that. They've maintained possession of the ball thus far, and they've controlled this game. So it's just a matter of time, hopefully, before they can put one in the back of the net. They're doing some nice things. They're moving the ball well. They seem to be in a nice little rhythm. So got a beautiful night. It's not pouring down rain as we're normally used to. So the field conditions are prime, and they're showing some of their skill tonight, and it's looking good.
In fact, the Tulsa players were commenting on how nice the field is, as many visiting clubs do when they come in here, because you can imagine the hardscrabble fields of Oklahoma, how they get in the summertime, and so they're thrilled to see the lush grass here at Kuntz Stadium, which is kept in tremendous playing condition.
It's always nice down here at Kuntz. Everybody loves coming down here and playing. Premier facility in the state.
The Roughnecks, we told you about their 2 losses last weekend in Dallas and in Houston, both by 1 goal. 2-1 loss at Dallas, and then a 3-2 overtime loss at Houston. That has dropped them to 4-5 overall on the year. They will play in Cleveland tomorrow night, so as if their long bus trip wasn't enough, they have to get on another one and go 5 more hours east to play the Cleveland Caps the next night. Throw in near side, Obi Monami to Eric Nichols. Nice one touch by Crawford, but unfortunately, right to Tulsa's Ian Palmer. Now as Monami has it back on the move across midfield. Good job to get the ball back. And the Blast have a break going. Stolen away nicely by Brian Hooten, the defender for Tulsa. He'll send it up ahead, looking for Ugba. Headed back the other way by Russell G, and here come the Blast again. Andafar had it briefly on the far side for Tulsa. He's still mixing it up there, trying to get it. And here comes Tulsa again. Long shot from way outside, and that'll go skip past Ernie Yarbrough. Hasn't really been tested yet tonight.
Not yet. You see the speed with Obi there in the midfield. When he has the space, he can take the space and get in there at speed. He's got the speed to do it. But at the same time, what the Blast are doing very well this first half is they're moving the ball well. So they've got to keep focused on not turning it into a dribble fest and making sure that they maintain possession and playing a little 2-touch, 1-touch. It's worked well for them, and they've got to continue to do that, because right now Tulsa has not pressured these guys at all, and that's good for the Blast.
No, Ernie took something off that one, because normally he can send those goal kicks quite a long way, but he sent that one short, taken away by Tulsa as they move into the Blast defensive half. Nice sliding tackle by George Crawford to get that one free, and here comes Craig Ginsberg. Ginsburg looks to be running harder than I've seen him at any point this season, Dan. It looks like he's fully recovered from that hamstring because it had been bothering him. You could see him run a little gingerly at times, but looks like he's leaving everything out on the field tonight. As you see him accelerate to try to get that one and collide.
As a player, when you're injured, it's so much fun to play when you don't feel any pain. So he must be feeling really good, and allows him to have a little more freedom out there and creativity.
Long shot that skips over the bar on the far side by Tama Andofar. It was Brian Hooten with whom Greg Ginsburg had collided. He'd knocked heads and then went over and checked on him to see how he was doing.
I think we can already see the results of even in the first part of this half, the benefit of having George Crawford in the midfield. He's not only his transition back, he's a defensive-minded style player at this point, but his transition in midfield from going from offense to defense, defense to offense is really going to help the Blast, and we've seen that so far. So having him in the midfield right now has been a real benefit.
Yarborough's goal kick made it to midfield, but it's taken away by Tulsa. The far side now Justin Elkington. Now here's Ian Palmer, near side. Ginsburg trying to get in there and steal that one away, but Tulsa still maintaining possession, as they like to do. Just under 32 minutes to play, first half, no score from Kuntz Stadium. Elkington puts a foot into that one. Eric Nichols should get there first and does, but Ugba's there, tries the one-timer and fans on it, but he still maintains control here with Eric Nichols stripping him of the ball. Good job by Nichols to get it up ahead to Ginsburg. A good job of shielding the ball from Lang Bartles, but then it's taken away. And here's Andofar for Tulsa. Crawford steals that one away at midfield, and Eric Nichols has it. Nice one-touch ball by Shane Schmidt to get it up ahead, but a little bit too far for Crawford, and they'll knock it back to Randy Richardson for Tulsa. This portion of today's game was brought to you by Soccer Unlimited. We cover the entire field. Now it's Mike Edwards. Getting up ahead to Ugba, but Randy Whiteford back there as well, but Ernie Yarborough gets a foot into it and sends it the other way. And here is Greg Ginsburg. Giddy left foots it far side. Toby Walton trying to run there. Those two hooked up for a goal last Sunday against the Cleveland Caps. It was Toby Walton's first goal of the year and Ginsburg's first assist.
You see Phillips coming back to receive the ball there, 50-50 situation. As the ball's going long, he's getting involved in a play, and he's making an effort to win those 50-50 balls. If they can continue to do that, they'll control the offensive zone. And that's important for him to be able to do that.
Little dribbling exhibition put on there by Andofar, as has to knock it back to Randy Richardson now. Now Alan Alderson back in the lineup after missing a game with an ankle sprain. Sent that one back into the Tulsa end, but here come the Roughnecks. Near side, Ian Palmer. That one's stolen away by Randy Whiteford. Gets it up ahead onside. And here is Ginsburg trying to push it up to Phillips. Gets it right back, Ginsburg, but he waited a little bit too long, and the defender Hooten got in there and was able to deflect it across the end line, and I believe we'll have our first corner kick of the night.
I think what happened there is Ginsburg went to make the pass, but Phillips realized he was offside, so he pulled up. And Ginsburg saw him pull up, so Ginny decided to take the ball on in, and it just kind of was, it was a good 2v1 situation there for a minute, but it was this little miscommunication. They couldn't quite get it off. Good opportunity here, though. See what they can do in the corner.
Ginsburg here near side. In the corner, first corner kick of the night as Ginsburg sends it across the goal mouth. Crawford heads it up in the air. He's very dangerous on those corners. That's how he scored the first goal in Blast history, but that one over the top of the crossbar and onto the back of the net. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Ameritech Cellular. Here's the replay of that as Hooten got in there, and a little mix-up as Ginsburg sent it across the end line. This portion of today's game brought to you by Ameritech Cellular. Call 1-800-MOBILE-1 for your cellular phone needs. Goal kick Tulsa in the 50-50 ball here as Andofar and Monami collide. They'll call the foul on Obi and free kick for Tulsa. They try to push it up ahead to Andofar on the run. He's got Eric Nichols dogging him step for step, and that one skips out here into touch along the near side. And appears we'll have another throw in for the Roughnecks. First set piece really down in the blast end for Tulsa. We'll see what they do with it. They get it into Mike Edwards. Marked tightly by Shane Schmidt. Good tight marking tonight by the blast. Whiteford is there to try to get that one free. Held in now on the far side by Shane Boren. Like Russell G took a tumble on the far side.
They're really doing a good job moving to the ball and winning the ball in the midfield and in the back. And if they track well and mark up well, the Blast are going to have hopefully a pretty good time with these guys tonight.
Tulsa with the ball on their own end. Phillips trying to swoop in and take that one away, but unable to get it away from Hooten.
A dangerous ball.
We are scoreless. 27-20 to play, first half from Kuntz Stadium. Ginsburg in there to make that a little dangerous run, but can't do anything with it. Andafar has it for Tulsa as they try to work out of the back. That one went off Phillips's leg and towards the goal, but Richardson tracked it down without much trouble. Before the Blast come back home on the 20th against Lexington, the Indiana Blaze of the W League will be back home on Sunday, June the 15th against the Chicago Cobras. That's a 2 o'clock game. You can get tickets or find out any other information about the Blast and the Blaze on the official website of the team, www.indianablast.com, or by calling 317-327-KICK. Ginsburg getting a little, that's Phillips getting a little aggressive over on the far side, but a little too much, knocked it out. Tulsa to throw it in. Baba Ugba finally going a bit tough there. Now Crawford, Deekson tried to get it across to Monami, stolen away. And here's Andafar for Tulsa, but nobody home as he chipped that one down into the Blast defensive half.
Baba Ugba might be the best name of the year.
He's in tough running with Emeka Monami and Obi Monami. Seen a lot of them. That one sent long, and Phillips on the run. This is a foot race. And the defender able to get there for Tulsa first. That was Justin Elkington. Out at midfield, here's Tulsa once again. They get it off to Andafar. Send it across the other way. Trying a little backheel pass was Mike Adams, but it's taken away by Shane Schmidt for the Blast. Here's Craig Ginsburg surveying the situation and sending it long. Monami nearly offside there. No flag, and now Ginsburg has it back on the near side. You see the time, 25-18 and counting to play in the first half. Ginsburg sends that one through. Monami on side. He'll try to deke around his man, but good job by Lang Bartles to at least stay upright and try to poke it free. Sent far side. Crawford one times it into the air. Toby Walton heads that one, but it'll go across the end line. And they'll say that it went off Toby's noggin, and so it'll be a goal kick for Randy Richardson.
Tulsa has to be careful not to give Obi too much room to turn the ball there. You see that Long Bartles won that battle in that situation, but he actually gave Obi time to turn, and Obi gets past him. He's in the box, and there's an opportunity there. So they've got to, if Tulsa wants to contain the forwards a little bit, Phillips and Obi, and even Ginsburg is just coming through, they're going to have to really mark up a little tighter and not allow them to turn. Because right now they're doing that, and that's a definite advantage for the Blast.
Ginsburg has it taken away by Andofar, but Russell G there out of the back to send it up ahead for Indiana. Phillips marked by Hooten. Gets it off far side to Randy Whiteford, pushing up from the back. Whiteford will get over far side, Toby Walton. Defense collapses in. Walton sends it across, but it'll skip harmlessly across the end line. 24 minutes to go first half.
The Blast have certainly dominated this half, and they've had decent opportunities, but they have yet to really have a great shot on goal or really test a keeper yet. They're knocking on the door, they're getting around there, but they haven't actually had a decent opportunity.
See if we get one here on the corner kick as Walton puts a foot into it, but a little bit too far and outside the area. Ginsburg tried to get it past the defender, stolen away by Andofar. Up to Mike Edwards at midfield on the run. Here's Edwards sending it long for Ugba. Ugba on the run. He gets there before Russell G does, at least like he had the angle. Now he'll try to work around him. Good job by Russell G to hang in there. Keep him from giving him room to turn. Ugba still holding on the ball, though. He'll lay it off for Andofar. Big shot going nowhere. Bounces here harmlessly across the end line, and Yarborough will have a chance for a goal kick.
Great job by Russell G there on Ugba. If you allow a same thing with Phillips and OB for the blast, if you allow Ugba to turn, he's going to get in the box and have an opportunity. And Russell did a great job not letting him turn. Obviously, Ugba has to play the ball back, and they take a shot from 35 yards out as opposed to 20. Is a big difference. So great job by Russell G there.
Saw that good crowd here tonight. It looked very foreboding earlier in the day when it was just coming down rain in sheets.
I think it's Brownsburg Youth Soccer Night tonight.
It's also Kroger Night, one of the Blast big sponsors. I'll have a special presentation at halftime. Here's Obi Monami accelerating outside the 18. Monami into the box, but before he could get there, a defender was all over him. He stays up as Richardson, he lays it off. There's a shot, and that one skips just wide.
Probably the best opportunity they've had at this point. OB got into the box. How dangerous he is. I know that Phillips was wide open on the far post. Maybe OB just thought he could get the shot off.
Just take a look as they lay this one off, and Toby Walton takes the shot that's going nowhere.
Knocked it back. The keeper was out of the goal at that point, too, so it was a free shot. It was a wide open net. Opportunity missed right there, but they're knocking on the door. You know, the coaches will be pleased with opportunities. Obviously, the opportunities, you want them to be converted into a goal situation, but other than scoring goals, getting the opportunities is very important, and they're definitely doing that.
Richardson's goal kick goes long, tracked down by by Alderson here along the near side. Ginsburg and Phillips play touch. Gets it right back to Monami, who tries to accelerate around his man. Here is Phillips on the run. Mark Phillips still on the run, outside the area. Phillips still upright, left-footed shot goes off a defender. Shane Schmidt has it. He takes a weak shot right in front to Obi Monami, dinks around his man. Schmidt shot, he scores! Shane Schmidt comes out of there with the goal. And Obi Monami will get the assist, and it's 1-0 Indiana.
Great goal. It was just, by the rhythm in this game, you could tell the Blast were going to get a goal very soon here. We've been talking about that last 10 minutes.
Look at the replay as, well, trust us, finally it comes to Schmidt, and Schmidt buries it in the top corner.
Phillips created that play by taking the ball from midfield at speed into the box and getting the ball over to OB. OB gets an opportunity to get a shot off. Instead, he plays it back. They bury it, so this is a well-deserved goal. They've been outplaying Tulsa at this point. They've been maintaining possession. They got the rhythm going, and this is a very, very big goal for the Blast. Set the tone for this game and see if they can maintain control here, because Tulsa right now is not just they're not performing well, and the Blast can take advantage of not only the lack of effort that Tulsa has, but also keep in mind that we've got a bench and they don't. So the fresh legs are going to be key down the road here, down the stretch.
24th minute, Obi Monami to Shane Schmidt. Schmidt's first goal of the year, and Monami's second assist of the year. A big shot going over the crossbar by Baba Ugba as he tried to get Tulsa back into it with one swing of the foot.
No, not that replay. I mean, the replay that just happened. Never mind, you're out of time now.
So Shane Schmidt from Evansville gets his first goal of the season. He was excited about it, and with under 20 minutes to go in the first half, it takes the Blast to a 1-0 lead. Kenn Tomasch, Dan Capsalis with you on the Blast TV network and worldwide on the internet, on the World Wide Web. If you're listening in at www.indianablast.com, go ahead and send us some email, and in the second half we'll read some email in the air if we get any. Email us at blast@indy.net. Here's Russell G knocking it back to Yarborough, and this is closest that a Tulsa attacker has been to Yarborough thus far. Offside on Tulsa. So the Blast will start things on the other end. Now Whiteford, far side, up ahead to Obi Monami, who just assisted on Shane Schmidt's goal. Now he'll lay it off to Schmidt once again. Here's Shane on the run. Just outside, pushes it here along the far side. Ginsburg will chip it into the area. Trying the big header, but Obi Monami he's only 6 feet tall. He needed to be about 6'4" to get to that one. Whiteford will wind up and send that one wide.
See the Blast starting to get a little confidence with their going to goal opportunities, and that's what they need. They need a little bit of a boost. This goal is giving them an opportunity to get a little bit of a green light and attack and play into a good rhythm and go to goal. And they've done that. They're taking shots from 20 yards out, 25 yards out, and they need to do that because again, the field is a little bit damp. The ball could slip out of the keeper's hand. They crash a goal and get a decent opportunity. So they're doing very well. They're controlling this game right now.
50-50 ball at midfield, sent back the other way by George Crawford, and it'll be Monami on the run again.
Not going to beat George in the air.
He can really get
I
up.
have not seen anybody beat George in the air.
Schmidt once again, chipping it far side over to Monami. But he can't get there in time, and it skips out of play into touch on the far side with 18 minutes exactly to play in the first half. Throw in far side by Tulsa.
Tulsa has yet to get a shot on goal.
Easy night so far for Mr. Yarborough. He's the kind of guy who really likes to mix it up, though. He wants them to send
action.
some shots his way and crash into people and grab some corners out of the air. And he's just not happy unless he's diving around getting dirty.
He wants an opportunity to show what he can do. So yeah, goalkeepers don't like to be bored. They like to be active. They like to be involved, and he's the kind of guy that comes out very well and gets involved with the play. And he hasn't had the opportunity because, fortunately for him, the Blast have done a great job.
Well, these two teams will meet again on Sunday afternoon in Tulsa. Here's Mark Phillips. Just outside the area, send it across, change. These two teams will play again on Friday afternoon in Tulsa. That's after the Blast go to Dallas to play the Toros on Saturday night, the 14th. So a little two-game trip down to the Southwest. And now Tulsa setting it into the box. And here's Ernie Yarborough coming way out to the 12-yard mark to slide down and smother that ball. I almost heard that ball say ouch when he landed on it. But he distributes to his former IU teammate, Craig Ginsburg, here along the near side. Kinney sending it long. Here's Mark Phillips outrunning his man. Phillips all alone in the area. Deeks Richardson takes the shot and scores! Mark Phillips makes it 2-0 with 13:48 to go. He did that one. That's just great athletic ability to get around his man, deke the goalkeeper Richardson, and then put it home.
Tell you what, we see the replay here. Phillips gets an unbelievable angle. I'm not even sure how he got that in. I mean, Richardson comes out to cut the angle off there, but somehow Mark took the shot, kept it on the ground, and must have gone underneath Richardson and into the side panel. It's a great effort and a great goal. And Phillips has had, he created that first goal by bringing the ball into the midfield and dropping it in. He's had an outstanding game, so good for him. That's great. 2-0.
That's his team leading fourth goal of the campaign. That gives him 9 points on the season. He was Ohio's leading scorer last year with 12 points. And they're calling that an unassisted goal. I'd give the assist to Craig Ginsburg on that one, but I'm not the official scorer. Now here's Obi Monami, 12:58 to go. Monami on the run. Phillips did do a great job too. He did make a long run with it, but I think Ginsburg made it happen.
Nice to see.
Setting a nice through ball to Mark, and now it's 2-0.
Nice to see these guys get a lead like this. It's going to be, at this point in time, they've totally dominated this game. They deserve to be winning this game.
Ball coming down to me, Jan.
Here is Ugbra, taken away in the area by Randy Whiteford. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by the Indiana Youth Soccer Association. Call the IYSA office at 317-255-0499 for information about registration for the fall season coming up, or check out the IYSA on the web at www.inyouthsoccer.org.
Actually, you can hit the other player.
Here's the blast as Randy Whiteford clears this one out of the Indiana area, but too far as it skips into touch along the far side. And exactly 12 minutes to play first half. And a 2-0 well-deserved lead by the guys in white.
Probably going to get penalties here. They're 2-2.
Near side hooting for Tulsa. Ginsburg puts pressure on, and Tulsa knocks it into touch here along the near side, and so it'll be a throw-in for the Blast, and Shane Schmidt will do the honors.
No, this is not a dead ball. I'll tell you if this
Back into the Blast defensive half to Eric Nichols, up to George Crawford at midfield.
might as well scrap it every.
And now it's Randy Whiteford far side.
Yeah, that's fake crowd noise.
Try to get that one up ahead to Obi Monami, but it skips right to Randy Richardson, who came out almost to the 18 to pick it up on a bounce. Well, Richardson has made a couple of outstanding saves, and he's been the victim of a couple of very good shots that have gone in. That last one, like you said, by Phillips, I still don't know how he got that one in because he was almost on the goal line
Ball coming at me.
Tough angle.
to the right of the goal, but he buried it to the far post.
Right in front. I'm going to have a
You always have your goalkeeper come up huge for you throughout the game. But if you're giving him that kind of pressure, it's just a matter of time before a couple go in. And Tulsa has not done much to help Richardson right now.
And now Tulsa gets their first corner kick opportunity of the night. Far side, it's Justin Elkington. Elkington will do the honors as we approach the 10.5-minute mark left in the first half and a 2-0 Blast lead. Elkington's ready, sends this one across. Yarborough stays put and his defense takes care of it. They get it out in front. The big shot taken by Ian Palmer, but cleared away by the Blast defense. And Obi Monami is all alone at midfield. 1-on-2 against defenders. Look at the speed. Good speed by the defense to get back there and get that one to take it away from him. Justin Elkington, who took the corner kick. Sends it up ahead to Edwards. Edwards onside here along the near side touchline. With Nichols on him, lays it off for Hawkins. Hawkins back to Edwards, but swooping in is Shane Schmidt. It goes off Schmidt and then to touch here along the near side.
Boy, Obi had tons of space. I'll tell you what.
That was almost like a penalty shot in hockey. He was on his way in.
Elkington made an incredible defensive play, and what an effort. He came from the far side of the field, and Obi had at least a 20-yard head start on him. That was amazing.
Throw in near side for Tulsa. Edwards does the honors. Plays one touch with Ugba. Now he'll send it across far side, headed out there, but held in on the far side. Ugba high and wide and into the seats, off the railing and back there into the bleachers. Just a reminder, the next Blast home game, Friday night, June the 20th, as the Lexington Bluegrass Bandits come to town for a 7:30 game. That'll be preceded by free clinic for kids. Come on down from 5:30 to 6:30 and get some instruction from the Blast assistant coach Mike Sonich and Blast players. Preceding the Blast game against the Premier League's Lexington Bluegrass Bandits. Indiana and Kentucky, doesn't matter what the sport is. There is a rivalry there, and this will be the first time those two teams meet.
Pretty good.
Nichols to George Crawford, who's still back in his own defensive half. Alan Alderson far side, Randy Whiteford. Got 8:50 to go now in the first half as Whiteford chips it up ahead, looking for Monami. Monami stops and starts, gets it back, top of the 18, far side. Tried to lay it off, looked like he was laying it off to the referee, who was the only guy there. Phillips with a big shot right into the gut of Richardson with 8:37 to go.
Boy, Obi and Phillips are really working well together tonight. The Blast have to continue to get the ball to these two guys because I have a feeling that they're going to score a couple more before this night's over. They're really knocking on the door, and they're really moving the ball well, and they're getting great opportunities.
And you can tell that they're sensing that the opportunity is there, and with two goals already in the net, they're definitely not laying back and just being cautious now with 8 minutes to go. They're pushing forward and trying to get some more because I think they sense that the opportunities are there. They've had several opportunities already, only cashed in on 2 of them, but you keep getting them, eventually they're going to go in. And here's Monami on the run. Nice deke to get around his man, gets it over here to Ginsburg, far side, just outside the area. Try to hit Phillips, top of the 18, stolen away by Tulsa, and here come the Roughnecks back the other way, Tama Andofar.
Ball is coming at me somewhat.
Far side over there to Shane Boren. Boren with Whiteford trying to make a sliding tackle and upends Boren. Trip completely flipped over him. Tulsa still holding it in, now stolen away briefly by the Blast, and now here is Crawford at midfield. George's little brother Lauren injured his ankle against Cleveland on Sunday and will be out about 3 weeks, so that's why you haven't seen number 22 out there for the very first time this season, as he had played in every game to date. Now Ginsburg gets around Edwards. Still holding on at top of the area, gets upended, and no whistle as he got upended by Ian Palmer, and the Roughnecks send it back the other way. Boy, Ginsburg went flying. As you see, 7:03 to go in the first half and a 2-0 Blast lead.
Tulsa's really given the Blast inside within 35 yards a lot of space and a lot of room to move. I'll tell you what, the Blast have put great pressure on the Tulsa attacking players, and if Tulsa doesn't do that to the Blast, they're going to have several more goals scored against them. You don't want to give Ginsburg with that kind of speed and the kind of room.
Nice move by Ginsburg to knock that one back to himself, just to kind of flick it over his defender's head. And it goes across the end line for another corner for the Blast, is it? Ginsburg staying down there, and
for the first time, have seen Coach McDonald smile. He's liking this. Absolutely, his team is playing very well. Probably the best we've seen them play, the best half we've seen them put together, without any question.
Being up at all is a rare occurrence.
And not so much just the goals, but they're just playing very, very well. They're playing very well.
Ginsburg to put the right foot into it from the near corner. Sends it across, and Tulsa heads it out of there. Held in now top of the area. Crawford lays it off, and now here's Shane Schmidt, who already has a goal tonight. He'll wind up looking for another one, but that one skips to the left and out of play with 5:50 to go in the first half. Richardson again defers to a teammate on the goal kick. Up high end of the night. Far side, Toby Walton lets it bounce, and Randy Whiteford will track it down at midfield. Sends it through to Phillips. Just scored his team-leading 4th goal of the night at the 31-minute mark to make it a 2-0 game. Monamy steals that one away. Phillips. George Crawford here at midfield. And Shane Schmidt will back it out to Randy Whiteford far side. Whiteford now pushing forward. Back to Schmidt. Ginsberg here in the middle of the field. Dances around his man. Poked free though and taken back the other way by Tulsa's defense. Lang Bartles up ahead on the run to Ugba. Onside on left wing. Ugba with Nichols marking him, trying to dance around him, but he a little bit too fancy. Loose ball at the 7 and cleared away by Randy Whiteford.
Oh man, that's my best shot of the night.
4:35 to go as they send that one right into Ernie, and Ernie gobbles it up.
See how dangerous Ugba can be there. That Blast actually had him double teamed, and he still actually had somehow got through there and had an opportunity. They can't give him any room. They got a 2-goal lead here. You can score many goals in this game. His game is far from over, and they don't want to give up a goal inside the box with a guy like that being double teamed. So they got to be real careful of him. He's very skilled and very quick, and they got to make sure that they contain him and don't let him turn. He had an opportunity there.
Ginsberg. Throw into Monamy. Kick back the other way by Tulsa, and Eric Nichols tracks it down. He's got Ugba on him, but he'll send it up as Monamy has room to operate. Nobody collapsing in on him. From 22 yards out, takes the shot and up onto the grassy knoll with 3:50 to go in the first half.
Again, we see the Blast not necessarily having to get the ball inside the box or taking shots. Or be taking a shot there from 20 yards out. Try to catch a keeper off guard and hit one in the back of the net. Good opportunity. You know, you don't always have to beat the guy. If you can get the shot off, there's an opportunity that can create a scoring chance, then you take it. So, like we said earlier, they're taking the green light and a little more confidence going to goal and knocking the ball through and taking those outside shots. We see one of them go in today.
Here's Crawford tracking down a loose ball in the center circle. It's here to Ginsberg near side right at midfield. He'll chip it up ahead. Eric Nichols on the dead run, headed back by the Tulsa defense as they tried to head that one back to Richardson. And the Roughnecks send it back out to midfield. Ugba has it. Nichols tightly marking him, but he still has room to spin and get free. Taken right back by the Blast. 2:55 to go first half. 2-0 at Kuntz Stadium. Here's Monamy far side, but he is a little wrestling match over there with Justin Elkington. And Elkington will clear it away. Tama Andafar. Mark Phillips on him. Nice little move to try to get around, but he's going backwards. 2.5 to play first half. Shane Schmidt tracks this one down, and now it's Crawford at midfield.
Shane's really had a good first half. He's coming back and double teaming Tulsa's attacking players. He's moving the ball well. He's getting involved in the offense. He's had a really good first half.
Oh, wait a minute.
2:10 left in it, and here is Tama Andufar on the run. Nichols tries the sliding tackle. And it skips into touch here along the near side, and it went off Andufar, and so Nichols will throw it in as we get under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Alan Alderson. Far side, Randy Whiteford. Just at the far side touchline. Edwards swoops in there, but Whiteford dishes it off to George Crawford. And now they'll play a little back pass with it as with 1:37 to go. Now they lay it off to Obi Monamy up front. There's Monamy with 2 defenders on him. Pushes one guy out of the way. Play on, they say. Lays it off to Ginsberg in the box with a shot, but he did not set himself and missed wide right with 1:20 to go.
Good opportunity there. It's a tough ball to hit. Ginsberg was just a little bit off step. Try to hit a ball coming across your body looked like he hit it with the outside of his right foot and just curved it around. But the idea of taking the shot quickly there is to get it to the far post and catch the keeper again off guard and get an opportunity. And it was a good choice. He just mishit it.
1 minute to go in the first half. We're under it. As Richardson set for the goal kick, gets a foot into it, sends it skyward out to midfield. 50-50 ball. Look how high up in the air George Crawford got. Get over Mike Edwards, the veteran for Tulsa. Now Toby Walton off to Shane Schmidt, the two former Evansville Purple Aces. Edwards gets in and takes that one away, and back comes Langbartles. 32 seconds to go in the first half. Tried a little backheel pass to Andofar, stolen away by Mark Phillips, and he'll send it up ahead to Eric Nichols, who was so far offside as to be ridiculous. 22 seconds to go in the half.
Again, you see Shane Schmidt and Mark Phillips coming back into the midfield zone, tracking their players, and really making the effort to not allow Tulsa to advance the ball in the Blast defensive third. That's huge for the Blast. If they can continue to do that and deny that penetration, they should have any problem with this game.
5 seconds ago as Tulsa takes the shot that goes way out of here, and that is the end of the first half of play. Ernie Yarborough says, yes, indeed, we have a 2-0 lead. Good performance all the way around, offensively and defensively, and after 45 minutes of play from Kuntz Stadium, the Blast with a commanding and dominating 2-0 lead.
Outstanding. That was, without any doubt, the best half we've seen the Blast play to date. Obviously, what Coach McDonald and Coach Sonich have been doing with these guys has paid off. They're fresh. They're moving the ball well. Offensively, defensively, they're tracking well. They're getting good opportunities. They've got 2 balls in the back of the net. They're in control.
There's Shane Schmidt, who got one of them in.
He's had an outstanding half.
He heads off to the locker room, and we'll head off to the halftime show. We'll be back to look at the highlights from the first half, some analysis after this on the Blast TV network.
Langeman's Deli and Bagels is a great place for a fast meal that isn't fast food. We have 16 types of bagels baked from scratch daily from family recipes. Get your day going with a bagel and your favorite gourmet coffee. Or drop in for a delicious deli sandwich for lunch. Langeman's can even help with your party or corporate gathering with our boxed lunches, deli trays, party trays, and our Party Bagel Hero, with 3 convenient Indianapolis locations. Langeman's Deli and Bagels.
If you're the kind of person who'd rather tune an engine than eat, who reads a tachometer like a love story, for whom the roar of fully blown horsepower is a lullaby, have we got a machine for you. The F-16 Fighting Falcon. It'll crank out a generous 50,000 horsepower, enough to push it from 0 to 1350 in under a minute. And in the hands of the right mechanic, it'll blow the doors off anything. Aim high, Air Force.
Back at Kuntz Stadium, it's halftime with the Blast leading the Tulsa Roughnecks 2-0. And Dan Capsalis, you said it going to break, but that was obviously the best half of play we've seen the Blast have so far this season, at least on the TV network or any time at Kuntz Stadium. Take a look at the stats quickly. Of course, the Blast up 2-0, but they outshot Tulsa in that first half 8-2. Ernie Yarborough only having to make the 1 save. 3 saves by Randy Richardson, one of them the beauty to get tap that one over the crossbar. 4 corner kicks to 2 by the Blast and 3 fouls apiece. Stats somewhat showing the dominance of the Blast in the first half.
Without any question, you can see the Blast have completely taken control of the game, and at this point in time, if they can continue to maintain possession and their transition in both midfield, offensively and defensively, they shouldn't have any trouble with Tulsa. Tulsa does look tired. They know that they only have 1 sub, so they don't have the fresh legs that the Blast do. I would suspect that you'll see Coach McDonald throw some fresh legs in the second half and keep the pressure on Tulsa and put this game away.
Let's take a look at the goals from the first half. The 2 of them. That first one coming out of a little scrum at the top of the box as Obi Monami laid it off to Shane Schmidt, who just buried it.
Unbelievable goal. I mean, Monami takes the ball and gets into the possession, and when he's in the box, I mean, this guy's dangerous as it is, and the ball comes loose, and Shane just has a beautiful one-touch rocket to the far post and totally caught Richardson off guard.
Shane, not much of a goal scorer, but was able to put that one in, and he is still talking about it on the bench with trainer Jim Tyndall. Then the second goal, just a great piece of individual skill and effort, as after Craig Ginsburg laid one off to Mark Phillips. Phillips on the run to get free and then just bury a laser beam in the side corner.
And we don't see that we didn't have a good angle on it, but I'm not sure how he got in. But Mark has just played an outstanding first half. He's had a great game at this point. He's getting into the box, obviously cutting off the defender and maintaining possession. He had a heck of an angle on that. He put it right on, looked like underneath Richardson and went to the far post. Well deserved.